But this lawsuit comes out of a incident where Mr. Njuguna Nagi was shot right over here around 1:30 in the morning on October 6th. This has been a hotbed for criminal activity, a cesspool for open air drug trafficking. Loitering happens frequently. There's been overdoses in the area, and the owners of this business knew what they should have done to protect the people who were shopping here. Nagi survived his initial attack, but that was just a beginning of his suffering. He was a successful actor. I mean, booked in movies all across the country. He was really pride and joy from this area. Everybody knew him. We were excited to see everything that Nagi was doing. But the shooting not only almost took his life initially physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. It triggered a cycle of depression for missed opportunities. For example, him when he was shot, hit the ground, chips his tooth, loses an opportunity to be in a big movie, recovering for his wounds. And as an actor, you only have a short window of time. That really started everything with Nagi's demise. And unfortunately, he lost his life as a result of this shooting after struggling with depression, some substance misuse, and other mental health issues that started because of this shooting. And he tragically lost his life in June of 2023. And so this lawsuit really is about justice for Nagi, full justice, the criminal justice system, and everybody who's civilly responsible by being negligent, but also to stand up for our community who's tired of this. They're tired of the loitering, the crime at the gas stations when owners know what they should be doing, but unfortunately they're profiting off that business model. They're profiting by having people loitering at night who are purchasing drugs, who are using drugs in the area. They're profiting by not having just a little bit extra money. They can have security, but they'd rather have that money in their pocket. So there's nobody to stop the loitering. The sheriff department, can only do but so much they can do on their end. And by this lawsuit, we're hoping that the owners not only do what they should do to make sure that Nagi's family is fully compensated fairly for his suffering that he sustained. He's one who shot and did not live to see this day. But his family's still suffering today. His mom is still suffering today, who we'll make available for interviews later on. His father's suffering. His siblings are suffering. And the community at whole was suffering. My brother preached his funeral right down this street. We just celebrated the anniversary of his death a couple months ago. And so we hope that this lawsuit not only is a point of healing, but also a point of vindication and any semblance of justice that the family can receive. One thing that was shocking about this case was the fact that there were criminal charges that were initiated against the shooter. It's my understanding that that case may have been resolved. The family did not participate in that case, not because they didn't want to, but they weren't notified. They didn't know about it. And so, justice is not just a criminal justice system. It's full justice, the civil justice system. And by this lawsuit, that's what we're asking for. There was an individual murdered right over here too. All right, you had a woman who sexually assaulted on live video, uploaded to Facebook while the owners are there and countless people on the public are recording it. That type of activity going unchecked causes more problems. And hopefully this lawsuit really is a stepping point in cleaning up this area. But we still want justice for Nagi. And that's what we're here today to announce this lawsuit and to let y'all ask us questions, also hear from interested stakeholders. So now I'd like y'all to hear from Mr. Njuguna, who's going to talk about his.
As you can see, I'm holding a big poster of my son. This is the one we had at his funeral. He was, everybody knew him. He was an accomplished actor. He staged in major movies. And after he got shot, right across the street, something happened to him. For most people who have done mental health, psychologists or therapists, they know that there's something called acute trauma. That's when something happens in your life that kind of changes everything about you. And then, of course, it moves on as time goes by to complex trauma. That's when you can never get rest from it. And as a result of that, this boy his life just turned around. And over the next year and a half, he spiraled from this actor who was so accomplished, articulate, straight A student at Amo High School, to this person who, at one point, we almost didn't recognize him. We tried every help. And as a result of that trauma that was caused right over here, senselessly, when he got shot, that's how I lost my son.
Sir, what's your overall feeling? Is it regret, anger? How are you feeling about the whole
I
situation?
think it's all of the above.
Yeah.
Because see, grief comes in cycles. Just I was okay for a while until I got here. Holding this post just brings back all the memories. And I think this place is a cesspool. It needs to be shut down. Drugs are sold here openly. I've been here at night and I can see the transaction right there. We've had more mugging. We've had rapes in this particular area because the people down this right next building, they don't care about anybody but themselves. And I'm here because this boy needs justice. And if our family attorney and myself and my family, we want to make sure that justice is done.
And, Nagi lost his life right here. He ultimately passed away right here. When I say right here, he lost his life near this oak tree that's behind y'all right now. That's where he eventually passed away in June of 2023. When people are struggling, they're struggling whether financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, and you have an area right by them as a business that's allowing this to happen, how are they going to overcome their struggles? And they know that's going on. All they have to do is enforce the law a little bit. Hey, no loitering. Hey, if they know people are drugged, they can call the police. But having it go unfettered is what's causing more problems by that. What does that do to a community who knows when a rape happens that nobody does anything? They think they can do anything over here.
Yeah.
And I want y'all to hear from Javar, who's talking as a member who lives in this community, but also on behalf of the Broad River Business Alliance.
Y'all, I'm sorry because this when I wrote to Tyler last year, I didn't just write to him as the president of our area's organization. I wrote to him as a citizen of the Broad River District. I've been calling on Richland County at every level to intervene. I'm somebody that has buried 9 people within my own family that have succumbed to gun violence. I'm somebody that has lost 30% of the people that I grew up with to gun violence. We marched 7.5 miles in this community, all the way to Right Direction Church, from Lucius Road, standing in solidarity. Hundreds of us. That has never happened on Broad River Road. To say enough is enough. We marched when Demarion Corbett lost his life in the Riverside community. We stood in solidarity as the Eau Claire 3 were gunned down. For Travis Jones and Hyatt Park and the other 3 children, we are standing here today not just for Sammy, but we're standing for all of the Black lives that should matter. Mm-hmm. We're standing here today because we are saying that we are done. We're formulating plans and strategies as businessmen and women to make sure that the businesses that are found within our district, that they do not denigrate our human condition, but they uplift us. They create a family-oriented environment that people that don't call me at 6 o'clock at night saying, Javar, I'm scared to leave my house. Not just because we happen to have beautiful neighborhoods just on either side of this one road, but because we deserve to have peace. My Bible tells me that Jesus came that we would have life and have it more abundantly. The Declaration of Independence says that I have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That includes liberation from fear of being shot trying to get gas. Liberation from fear of being shot while trying to transact in a gas station that don't care nothing about us. To the sum that they could pay $45 an hour to make sure that there's a sheriff parked, that there's private security. But they don't want to do that because our lives don't have value. And so, yes, we believe in a free and open economy. But we also believe in an economy that supports its people. that's good for its people, that doesn't denigrate our humanity or our human condition and break the spirit of the community. That's exactly what has happened here. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and we've already seen them lined up in front of the store. 9 o'clock in the morning, and you selling crack cocaine and methamphetamines in our community. Our elders and our children should not live in fear, and we won't stand for it. So we praise God for Brother Bailey because he listened. He heard our cries. We continue to keep an open line of communication with him. And today we stand in the gap for those that cannot stand in the gap for themselves. I'm emotional today because it could be any one of us. It could be your child. So for those of you that say, oh, why you want to close the store down? Because this business is a cancer in our community. This business is keeping other businesses from growing and prospering. Other businesses in this community deserve to have the same life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That's what Sammy deserved. That's what he deserved. He was celebrating a tremendous milestone. He was celebrating minding his business after coming off of a successful run on Amazon, only to come to his own hometown and be gunned down to nothing. No, today we say to every level of government that if you are not on our side, you are against us. And we as the people